What's going on, guys? We are back here in London, GG.Bet, hosted at the ICE conference. Wonderful stuff.
The GG.Bet ICE Challenge. My name is Matthew Trivet. No, I'm kidding, it's not. But he has taken a step away from the casting booth, and the powers that be assumed that I was prepared for this, so we'll see what happens, Mr. Greer.
We will see what happens indeed. You join us at the second map. It's going to be Cash, and currently North are undefeated in Cash. They've played it a grand total of 3 times, but they've won them all. So hopefully this works out for them. It's Avangard's pick, though, just to be clear.
W's are W's. Undefeated is undefeated.
Indeed.
I think all the math kind of checks out. Statistically, the math does check out over at GG.Bet. That's right. Head over to the website, GG.Bet, and go ahead and get those odds catered in your way. We almost had one of those red-eye moments here.
Almost got yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Absolutely.
That was a good one. Yes. This is the moment where Avangard can either bring it right back in their favor. We know this North team is rebuilding. You got to catch up with them in the octagon. What does it feel like in there? Is it a bit of an electric atmosphere? Can you feel the testosterone flowing for everyone's monitors?
Yeah, I don't know where else it'd be flowing from, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting situation with North, right? Because we saw the trial, the tribulation, and the ultimately jury come out and basically sentence these guys to no major. So now they're definitely in a really weird spot. I also like the interview where he was saying along the lines of, you know what, we need to uproot the whole project. We need to start fresh, and we need to get in here and really get our hands dirty to kind of bounce back from what has been, what you would say, a blunder.
An absolute blunder, yes. Probably one of the lowest points in a lot of their careers. Remember, Kiabi's got a major title under his belt right now. He's not even attending the next major at this point. They are rebuilding. They've got the new coach. First day on the job. Day one at LAN.
Surprise.
Yeah, so get stuck in. And I think at this point, he's just focusing on the strategies of his opponents and giving any sort of information to his teammates that he can, assisting when things get a little bit chaotic, which this team is certainly capable of. When they lose clutches, they definitely can get down in the doldrums, and they can find it difficult to recover sometimes.
Now, one man that's never really in the doldrums, and even a testament to that, as we saw on the last map, would be Valde.
I love this man and his Counter-Strike especially. He is a fantastic player, one of the strongest in Denmark. Definitely deserves to be at the major. He put an amazing performance even at that minor. Did everything he could, wasn't quite enough. Great showing from him in the first map as well. Hopefully we see more and more from him. And that man on your left of your screen as well, AZ, great performance in the first map. He's looking like he's getting better and better. Definitely a controversial talking point within the squad. Inconsistent is something he's been labeled with, but I still think he has the talent. He isn't done just yet, but this will be his final chance, I would say. If North are going to make any changes, he has to really step up this year and show us what he's capable of. But ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The second map begins. It is going to be 1-0 North right now. If they can pick this up, they'll close us up early, and it will be quite strange to finish things about 5 o'clock straight to the Counter-Strike tournament. But we'll see what happens here. This looks to be the knife round, though. You like to cast these, don't you? You've got some experience given these.
Yeah, something about red beans and ravioli. Go ahead and get it all out, all the fixins, maybe even a little mayonnaise on top. I don't even think that even.
Red beans, ravioli, and mayonnaise. Don't know what you guys eat over there in Alabama, but I don't want anything to do with it, to be honest.
Well, basically, you got to do all that and then fry it. But anyway, yeah, it looks like North's going to come out on the short end of the knife here.
Yes, indeed. They certainly are. Avangard, it's on one of these maps, this is actually one of the maps, statistically, it's basically 50-50. I would say, if you had to ask me a top-level CS, it's T-sided for sure. But we will see what happens here. Avangard sending on the CT side, but looks things North to kick things off. Remember, undefeated on Cash, but with this lineup, only played it 3 times. So I feel like they, pound for pound, have stronger players. They should be finding the 2-0 here, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to a third. What have you got for me?
And I think the real talking point is going to be this, Henry. North itself is the embodiment of the wondrous ways esports can work, right? Like since it is the only CSGO affiliate of the football and movie studio, so it's strange like that. It's really worked out sort of in their favor, but now they need to find their footing in their own so that they can be prominent within esports. But right now, we're going to see that grouping towards the B site, and the kills are going to be coming in with a Fury, as well as the trade. So a 3v3 situation left here. The bomb has not made its way in. In fact, it's down in pretty much no man's land here. North trying to regain a little bit of control in this B bomb site, but that's definitely going to start them off proper.
Here we go then. 1 minute 20 remaining. An emphatic start there from North, all in towards the B bomb site. The problem is, yes, they have the advantage here, but now They have to try and recover that bomb. They've got flashbangs, but they just don't know where the CTs are. With so much time remaining, they're hoping a mistake is made. You can see Avangar repositioning a run boost. I like that. Creative play under pressure as well. So they get across. They've got 2 players in connector now, one of which has the USP. I thought that was Buster's shot connecting. It finally does. He's going to need the ace to close this one out. We'll see if he's capable of it. They need to give him 2 targets here. The Gush should do it at this point. There should be no chance of him winning it unless this goes horribly wrong, but that's very well played from North. And that's something we haven't really seen too much from North recently, is working well under pressure. They had the bomb down there. They didn't panic. They didn't start running in one by one. They make sure they were calculated. I like the run boost. They've got 2 players towards checkers, and then they could work effectively together.
And it's very important there at the end of the round, too, because you could have seen that 1v2 go any way, any shape of the day. And honestly, for them to both swing on that guy and take that frag together, you have to think that the comms were on point in that moment specifically. But Buster doing just about all that he could, garnering 3 frags in the round. Not enough for Avangar to grab the round itself. However, we'll be seeing them go with 3 nades here and, well, just strictly 4 USPs. A lot of grouping there towards the middle, trying to get what my English friends would say, a cheeky kill there on the boost.
It would be quite cheeky if that one came in. But the problem is as well, if it doesn't, you've just spotted 3 nades towards the mid area, and this is what will happen. You'll just run in towards B and confirm you've got an open sight. Gage with a perfect weapon for these sort of interactions. Not maybe at that range. That was an impressive shot. Takes down Crizzen there towards the truck. It's going to be a 5-on-3. Remember, though, this is the full eco from Avangar, apart from a few grenades. They can buy up next round, but that's not a certainty. They might actually consider themselves maybe the underdogs here in terms of firepower and go for another partial buy and bring out AWPs instead. Definitely 2 school of thoughts there. A lot of different teams experimenting with the different options here. But at this point, North, you only want to send those MP5s to the fragging. Maybe the UMP as well, to be fair. But looks like they'll just be grouping up together and exiting as a squad.
It looks like they want to play this a little bit safer. Of course, no reason to really lose the weaponry this early on. Especially since you can go into this next round with some SMG firepower, maybe get yourself some more spending bucks. Not those V-Bucks, the real bucks, you know?
Oh, what do you mean? V-Bucks are the real bucks.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's the only currency I really deal in anymore.
Virtual bucks. But, I mean, I guess, what are the odds that a kitten will hatch out of a chicken egg?
That's such a famous question. What would probably have said that? Where's that from?
I would say I have no idea, but what I do know are the odds for the next match are over at GG.Bet. So
they are, and they'll be up on the screen momentarily. There's that lovely warm cup of tea, a slice of London there perhaps, as we will see us going to the next round. We did speculate as to whether they could really bring a decent buy to the table. You can see the AWP does come out. James does bring it out with the Orgs around him. The problem is the lack of utility, and James got himself a free kill there. Cadian really playing a fire. Didn't expect the AWP. If you full eco that second round on the CT side, you can get an AWP and indeed some Kevlar as well. So maybe he should have gone through the procedure, dropping the smoke first, then making his way towards the checker room. But for now, it's an early advantage for Avangar. If you look at the money for North, this is what we'd consider now the bonus round, which used to be after winning the first gun round, you'd have residual SMGs. These days, it's winning this round if you can, because even if you lose this one, if you can get it down to a 1v1 with a bomb plant, you still will get a great buy next round, and the CTs won't. So we'll see what they can do here. Don't necessarily need to win it, but at least need to cause some damage here to the CT defense.
Right, James starting the round off proper there with that frag. It's definitely going to help them here as they look to hold off this A offensive. The lineup's there for Kugert. He's going to get 3 before he's Molotov'd out by Valde. And now KRB left all by his lonesome in a 1 versus 4. Finds the first frag onto Fitch. Now he's got to beat off Jane, Buster, and Crizzen, but 45 seconds left on the clock. And, well, the bomb is down, but it would appear as though Avangar sort of got this pretty much under lock. I mean, there's no real method of approach here that KRB can take. And, I mean, if he opens this door, they're not going to be able to hear him, but they damn sure could see him.
1 kill will do, though. As I said, if he can just cause some damage here, they'll be buying up next round regardless. If he gets one of these frags, that's a successful round in my book. They came in with 2 MP5s, a UMP, a couple of AKs. Sure, this hasn't worked out for them. They won't be winning this round. But if he somehow gets another kill here, that'd be great. Missed opportunity there from Crizzen. Can he flash? Can he get the bomb down here? I don't think so. 10 seconds remaining. Actually, you might want to die at this point. Goes down in the end. It will be the AWP to find him, but a couple of kills there. Still good news for Avangar. They'll take that all day long, but here comes the next buy, the all-important round from North. It was quicker. They actually managed to line them up. We've seen the Orgs so much these days. They come around the corner. Ideally, needed a bit more utility in his position. He did get Molotov in the end, so they were covering it, but unfortunately, he pounced too soon, and it will be Avangar on the board. This is our final best of 3 of the day. If you're not aware, this is a 4-team tournament. We're going to be bringing you 2 matches per day, so get that in your diary. And Na'Vi dropping to Heroic could set us up for a bit of a rivalry tomorrow with the Scandinavian teams going at it in the upper bracket. We'll see. Gade to find the first kill on Buster, and Kristen to reply, and he's got a low HP player in front of him. That's Gade to be dropped 4-on-4 as the T's fall back. They've still got their smokes, 4 of those, a couple of flashbangs as well, and the Orb of Cadian tagged up as they make their way back towards the A site.
Yes, indeed. James trying to go ahead and reposition himself here with the AWP. We know what he can do with it. He's very volatile when he comes online, but it's going to be an all-in on the A site here for North. They do have a round advantage, and this will be a really crucial round for them to grab. And you can tell the tensions are high there. So we do almost see a little bit of a TK action. And Fitch is going to have something to say about that himself, and James mopping up Valde. So, you know, what could have went the other way on the back of a TK definitely turned out in the favor.
It absolutely did. If the TK came through there, you were absolutely done for, but Avangar win the round and break the back of North financially as well. Really hope as this tournament progresses, Trace, you know, with the fact we've got this octagon going on, when we get to the final, perhaps I want to see them standing up. I want to see some banter
the intensity,
going on. Yeah, well, that's the whole point of this. This is how I used to play back in the day, and it was a tactic. You could actually start the mind games. You could start. I don't want to use bad language here, but
don't.
Yeah, I'm just saying you could get in their faces. You could.
Yes.
You could get in their minds. You could actually do some damage there emotionally, not just on the server. You could actually start getting in there. But
it's psychological warfare. You know, it's a little bit more than saying, "Hey, you know what? We can beat you in the server." That's why I don't know why there's such a big repercussion or a big reaction whenever players start shooting at bodies in game. There's definitely something to be said about that sort of dominance that you display. Yeah. Sort of like James displaying here in middle, finding 2 big frags on what is an eco for North. But it's always cool to see James do things, especially when he flips his hair around.
You are a big fan of his hair, aren't you?
I like it.
Well, we could get you a wig of it if you like, if you want to recreate it.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what you can do.
I'll speak to my people. I've got a wig guy. We'll see what happens. We'll get into this conclusion of round number 5 as it will be Fitch to close things out. Nice work from James, though. He's just getting warmed up. He's had a good series so far. Big numbers on the first map, 3-2 as the Orb. I don't think is a possibility for Cadian here. I'm not that fussed about that. I think Cadian's a very ample rifle as well. He can actually do great things with that. I feel like when I watch them play, they actually look more effective as a squad when they have 5 rifles, just trading out frags instead of trying to go for the scrappy 1v1 duels. We'll see if that yields any fruit here as we get into it. This looks like an aggressive play from Avangar, though. 3 players towards A suggests to be pushing towards main or the squeaky door. Smoke down, flash is deployed, and indeed a push will be coming in. James setting them up. This could be devastating for North. The flash is coming. QCode's ready for it. He jumped up in the old Pronax spot, and it's worked out so well for them. AZ remaining. If he finds his frag, there's a chance, but that's the ultimate counter to that A attack. Yeah,
you basically just got shut down right there. They didn't have a whole lot of utility to work with, but perfect play there from Avangar. Really pulling it out, putting it on the table, at least in A main. Now, Cadian, having bought that rifle, not having that AWP so sought for, will be just about against all odds here. Sort of like, well, those over at GG.Bet.
GG.Bet providing the octagon, the prize money, the odds, everything really. Check them out as they made it all possible. We'll look in with the odds at the end of this round. Cadian, again, all he can really hope for here is financial sabotage as we'll head towards the B bomb side. 45 seconds, but the bomb firmly towards A. He's hoping he's seeking towards B and no one will be watching this flank, and maybe he gets a couple of kills in the back. That's ambitious at best. There's no pro team that will be just completely leaving a bomb side open because they have the bomb on the other side. You'll keep watching the flanks, just like Buster is. Guaranteed frag there. Well done. 4-2. And we could be going the distance here, maybe even a 3rd map. Who knows?
Who knows? But well, I guess we'll find out. I mean, it's going to have to take that level of intensity from Avangar, right? I don't think that the North is ever just going to roll over and take this. And again, they are undefeated on this map. Of course, it's only a 3-map streak, but undefeated's undefeated, Henry.
It's true. And
can't argue that logic, can you?
3 times. I'd be interested to see who those wins were against. When I spoke to Cadian, he didn't seem that excited at the prospect of cash, especially with the changes they've just made. Coach just coming in, but Gade with the 1D towards middle. You can actually beat the smoke there. If you get the best spawn and the CTs are playing middle, don't get too lucky. You can get there maybe half a second before the smoke blooms. Has to be a 1-shot. Normally do that with an AWP, but a deagle works just as effectively if you've got the aim to pull it off. Gade That's a second amazing 1D we've seen from in this series as he continues his offense towards middle. Will he be able to grab the gun, though? Possibly.
Right. And you can see the posturing there towards that B side. They want Gade to try to find some traction here. He already opened up a lot in the round just by finding that first frag. And he finds a second as he does infiltrate that Z connector. Now it's going to be a pinch onto the B site. 4 coming there from the side of Terra Spawn. It's going to be Valde. And this has turned into a nightmare for Avangar. 2 players left in Q-Kurt and Kizan. And my goodness, this one has really fallen on its head, Henry Gurr.
There's not really much you can do about that. If you're Avangar, you haven't necessarily done anything wrong. That's all about the prowess of Gade there. He's used that good spawn. That is an incredibly difficult shot, and you would assume you're safe crossing over there. There's not really much that could have been done. They've lost that initial 1D. The AWP has tried to rotate back towards the connector. Potentially could have played more defensively there. Knowing they've got pistols, that's not a bomb site, right? He could have just backed at the B site, been with them. The AWP did commit, missed the shot. That was the moment it all falls apart. That's really the only adjustment they could have made, is just let them have middle, have an AK short, or even an M4, I think it was. But the B split comes in. It's all down to Gade. And a lovely shot from Valdo as well to hit on the B player. That's them back on the board with an eco victory. They didn't really even bring any armor there, just the Desert Eagles, and they get another frag. Kristen's also there in spawn, but I think he'll survive. So their money's relatively healthy on the CT side, but a great rounds to boost morale as well on the North side. Just when it felt like it was kind of slipping away from you, you remind yourself that, yes, pound for pound, North should be winning this game in terms of the individual duels. They've got these great names, star-studded roster. It just doesn't seem to be clicking right now. That's the main problem.
Yeah, and I mean, there was a lot of discussion about this team off the heels of what the minor was for them. It wasn't a pretty showing, and for all it's worth, I mean, now they find themselves in a tough crossroads. I mean, where do they want to take the future of this team? And showing up here in London and not having any success would definitely not be on their docket. But of course, you can't even really be mad at Gade hitting those shots. It's one of those where it's just like, yes, nice shot. You know, what can you do against that?
No,
other
exactly.
than feel helpless. And right now, that help might be centered over there towards that B site there from the CTs. It looks like they're going to be playing 3 members over there, really playing this retake A setup. Unfortunately, North does not know that. And Valde's going to find the first frag there onto the B side. Lurking into the back lines now. If he finds a second, a big kill there on a Q-Kurt. And it looks like he's just opened the door here for North over on the B side.
But they don't know that extra player is still towards checkers. There's still a fighting chance in this round. They won't know that Buster's got himself on the swap. They could have knives out here coming around the corner. We will see. They actually seem to have some sort of awareness. Flashbang is absolutely spot on. I think they spotted the shoulder as well. So they won't be challenged by Buster just yet, it seems. Diaby takes down Fitch, and we've got a 4 versus 1. What amazing work from Valda that was. The fact he sneaks through, then hits the 180 shot as well from CT Spawn. That was fantastic. As James now, he'll have to fall back. He's got 5k residual cash, but that's only going to get them so far. He needs to save this AWP. He could drop an M4, maybe 2 if he survives this. Not going to happen. Definitely not. And we'll see. Go 4-4, probably suggests the eco at this point. He could get the clutch AWP at this point. He could be the Hail Mary, go, I'm buying AWP, you guys get pistols. That's like an Oscar-esque play.
I'm doing this, y'all figure it out.
Yeah, like players like Oscar, players like Simple, they'll make those plays. Whether they want to on the team of Avangar is yet to be seen. James is feeling it today. He could afford the AWP, they could get something with it. It takes a brave man to make that call, because as soon as you do, if it goes wrong, everyone's looking at you and saying, well,
you should have done something, bro.
That could have been you, man. Now we've got nothing left the rest of this half. So you've got to be very confident in your ability to make something happen. You have to go for a play as well. You can't just hold middle. You need to go for a play.
It's sort of like what we just saw with Valde and that situational awareness. I mean, right there, we're talking about making plays, and he certainly did that. And we can see now on the board in front of you, 4-4 is the score line. But in terms of fragging power, I mean,
I think they might have done it. I just doing the math there.
Quick maths.
I feel like they've bought the AWP. We'll find out. There it is. James gone for it. Trace. I've done it again.
Oh, my goodness, Mr. Greer. You should really open his fortune-telling sights. James finding a kill on Acadian, but it's not going to be enough. All he can find is 1. And now there's going to be a mop-up process here. The janitor is here out of the closet, and they're going to have taken this B site with relative ease, of course, on the backs of what was not really a huge buy, momentous buy there on Avangar. James falls. That op does fall with him. Now Q-Kurt's going to find himself in a 1 versus 4. Little to no hope, but he does have a deagle, no Kevlar. And he's also going to be taking some hits, and that's going to be the end of that.
So, exactly the play we were preempting there. Orb, aggressive, trying to get the first pick. The problem is it gets it, but they've played very well there, North. They're aware of that prospect and challenged that choke point together. They've made sure there's no exit strategy for the AWP. It goes down quickly, and they don't want to fall back there. They don't want to actually let the round slow down. They want to keep applying that pressure to make sure even if that Orb is recovered, it's going to get traded out again and again, and it's dropped in no man's land, so it can't be taken to a safe position where they could get taken down. That wasn't the full investment from Avangar. That was the Orb coming out with maybe Deagle and some utility as well. So they have enough for a mishmash purchase here. No kits, 2 flashbangs at 1 minute 45 of the round. This will be an incredibly difficult round of no Orb, especially. They need to be making plays.
And we're talking about the lack of smokes here for Avangar. Definitely not going to make it any easier on themselves as we look at North trying to get into these choke points and really execute on these sites. There's not going to be any sort of defense, anything to push them away from these offensive pushes. And that really isn't going to help Avangar's case. But of course, they do have the weaponry, and that is going to help them. Late game, you're right, Henry. No kits could spell a big problem, especially when it comes to late round. North really going to take their time, though. They don't want to rush into anything. They don't want to be caught off guard. It looks like we're going to get some crisscross smokes in middle.
These are so versatile as well. If you have players that are not in front of them, you lose information in middle completely. You have to surrender almost and let them have the mid area. At this point, this allows North to set up for B splits. They could smoke towards top of highway, go for an A split as well. This first objective being as clean as this is a massive problem because you see Avangar desperately holding on to what they have. A couple of flashbangs, they can't waste them. They have to make a play. Players like Kriza need to be flashed in. He needs to be popped into position and hopefully get one and fade away, but that's a big ask even from this advantageous spot. He didn't get taken out there, but surely will now. Vowd is going to get him, and now 2 flashbangs to hold off a full B execution. Yeah,
and Krizen really showing face there, also getting just a little bit of information, but that bomb's going to be transferring all the way back over to A. A lot of time has been ticked down, so we're looking at about 20 seconds with only 1 player on the A site, KRB, finding himself on the highway. And he's already made a ton of headway here for North as they try to find their way into the site. A little under 10 seconds now. Fitch going to cause some trouble. Probably stop this plant for what it's worth. They've really worked themselves into a corner here with the time. 3 players left. They've got the bomb down, and Fitch is going to continue to fight here, even though the bomb is planted. Valde towards Z, and this one has come all the way down. Gade versus Jame. No kid on Jame. So he's going to have to find his way up the highway. That's going to be his only approach.
Just hide, Gade. I don't like this at all. It feels like it could fall apart. It's a difficult shot for him to take, but he nails it. It could have just been a case of sitting in the corner there, and it would have been impossible to predict his position. He could have played off the bomb, but fair enough, he hits the shot, so no problem at all. 6-4, Avangar now really struggling on the map. They're going to have to go for another partial buy, meaning you can purchase up an upgraded pistol and maybe some armor, some basic utility, maybe 1 smoke each, no kits here, and you're looking for those really impressive one-shot kills. With the Desert Eagle, like we saw from Gade, those are the kind of frags you need to make these rounds possible, and we'll see what happens here. Going into round number 11, North already a map up, and we'll see if they can convert this one. So far, so good, but only 2 rounds separated. It feels like North are in a lot more control at this point, but it is still a close game.
Well, the economy game aside, I mean, it does appear as though they're trying to find that rhythm. They almost have it. Kukert, though, has something to say about it with his Deagle. They're going to go ahead and take out that MVP of Valde. And North finding themselves in a little bit of deficit. 4v5. Now they're going to make the numbers even. Gade also chiming in. Looks like they're going to be melting away the HP slowly but surely. Not much of a fighting chance here for Avangar nonetheless. And it's now up to Jame with a 5-7. No Kevlar. No kit. A little bit of hopes and aspiration. But for what it's worth, a little bit too tall of a task. And it's rounds like these. Yes, we see 9K on Katie, and we see 9K on KRB. It's rounds like this that are really going to let North stack that money up to the ceiling right now.
Absolutely. The fact they lost that first pick as well, they managed to adjust and stick to their game plan, and that's what I want to see. I've casted so many North games where they're making mistakes like going into positions one by one, not sticking together, someone going for a play and then not really having their teammates with them. This time it seems that they're calmer, they're making calls that, sure, you're grouping up together and going into positions as a whole unit. It's quite a basic execution, but like we said, the aim of this, guys, is what makes them so special. The talent they have within this roster is what we're all talking about, and that's why we give them a hard time, because we expect so much more from this star-studded roster. All of these names are known now, maybe the exception of Gade, who still technically just finished his rookie year, I guess, in 2018. He was one of the players you wouldn't expect to be at the very top, but he is right now. But the others, we've known them for years, especially the likes of Cadian, AZ, Kiabi's got a major title under his belt, and that's why we want to see more from them. It's a great organization, they're great guys, good players. This hasn't really worked out with this particular roster so far.
And just to clarify, you're saying wanting to see more, but I think it's really the expectation there.
Indeed,
I mean, it's on paper, this lineup should have absolutely no trouble, yet we're seeing a team that hasn't qualified for the major. They're tripping over themselves when it comes down to crucial situations. And right there, KRB, well, he had something to say about that. If we do see a bye coming in for Avangar, the double op set up, and only 2 kits. James getting caught out is definitely not going to help their pace. And Q-Kurt not lining up 2 is not going to help either. So now Krizen and Buster, well, what it's worth, this bomb will be going down by the hands of Cadian over on the A bomb site. It looks like, well, it's probably going to be the save. Yes, it's definitely going to be the save here from Avangar. And all the frags they can get in the world will amount, yes, on the scoreboard, but the monetary game right now of North is just sky high. The fiscal responsibility is through the roof. Henry Grr.
That's my name. That's what they call me.
What's the G stand for?
Grr.
Grr. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, just like a tiger. And we'll see if Buster and Krizen can hold on to their weapons. And Buster will be holding it towards that CD spawn area. AZ's coming for you, boys, but Krizen, he'll hear him from a mile off. And Calvi, they've got the cash this way. You can see $16,000. Anyone's not aware, that's the maximum you can possibly have. Oh, Buster, good work. That doesn't do much to the detriment of North, but at least it will boost his confidence. He keeps the orb and give them a fighting chance into that next round, as this looks to be a tactical timeout. I can see a bit of typing going on, but we'll see if that rings true any second now. It's North who are starting to run away a little bit with this first half. The second map could be the final map as well. Anyone who's not aware and didn't catch the first series, Trace, I'm not sure if you were watching it at all.
Yes,
but,
I have been known to watch the games.
Heroic took down Na'Vi in quite a convincing manner, and 2-1 just before the major. What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like Na'Vi, are they just waiting for the major cycle to complete before we see the big changes?
Okay, you talk about changes, and we can only speculate, right? Of course, this is
complete speculation.
Let's put all the asterisks on this as possible. But you know, if there's one thing going into a major, what is it that you do?
You prepare.
And what do you do with that preparation?
You implement it into the server.
Okay, not getting the hint.
Okay.
You save strats for the major. Now, I don't necessarily know if that's what Navi's doing, but they should have no trouble here. They should be able to walk in here, walk in the park, and sort of mop over these teams. But that's definitely not what we've seen. Some really slow starts over there. I know Electronic had a rough game in the second map. Zeus, doing Zeus things.
We'll discuss that a bit more. Looks like for now, Avangar actually finding opening picks here. That tactical timeout has yielded 2 frags. The double orb setup actually working out for the first time. It's James and Buster both finding a kill. They'll boost up towards the vents and see whether they can recover this situation. Vauda will be making a little bit of noise. Missed shot there will give North a little bit of an opportunity. You do not want to repeat that angle against an AK, that's for sure. Very difficult to hit. And you can see the lack of utility now for North. This is going to be a very difficult comeback. Like we said, the money's so strong for them right now, they'll go for it. There's no point saving. Coming to the dying stages of the first half, might as well see what's available to them. Apparently not much. James will still find another kill, but I'm still believing here. Vauda alive and Calvi in this position. This could still fall apart. He's left on 1 HP. How he survived, I don't know. But now can drop the Molotov. Will it be enough to hold them off? I think it will. A bomb might be able to go down here. It's up to Vauda, but that should be the round. Good attempt, nice ideas, but unfortunately couldn't quite hit that shot on the connector, and we'll go 8-5. With the money still strong on either side, we'll have another full gun round here. That double AWP setup paying dividends there. You saw the 2 opening kills, both from the snipers.
Yeah, really well played round there from the side of Avangar, of course. They're getting all of that sort of cohesion. However, North still has that freedom of movement. We see it just about every round. They're able to work their way up highway with just about no contest. And at least in this case, it's not Dave and Buster, it's James and Buster getting it done. You like that? Or?
Yeah, I love that.
Sorry.
Won't really land here in the UK, but I love that.
But you've been to Dave.
I've been to Dave and Buster's. Okay. It's great. One of my favorite establishments, actually. We should franchise that here.
I think that's how that works.
Yeah, we'll make a killing. Either way, it's going to be round 14. Remember, the double orb setup was absolutely phenomenal in the previous round, but Vauda, he is such a nuisance. How he's in checkers already in this sort of spot, I couldn't tell you. They seem to be aware of it. Oh, they hit him as well. That's a little bit dangerous. He needs to be very aware of that now. He probably just holds here while his teammates get ready to go towards A. That's what I'm imagining now. At this point, they'll go for the execution, and now he's in a prime spot to go for a backstab when he hears those rotations come through. Considering his low HP, I think that's their only play at this point.
Yeah, and then we're going to see them set up there towards that B side, and that will be exactly where they head over.
They're changing it. Okay, so they're going to change things up with AZ potentially going for the backstab or the fake towards A, whichever way they're inclined. But I thought the initial approach was the best option, but
full commit.
Let's see what they do with it.
That's right. Slippery over there in towards the back of Checkers. It's going to be Valde. Definitely a man you don't want to find in the back lines because he will eliminate you, but as it's worth, KRB trying to walk his way out onto this B site and put a 9th round on the board for North. It's 30 seconds tick down on the clock.
AZ's out.
And AZ is out. That's right, he has come out the door, but that setup is going to be transferring back now. Looks like the transition's in place. A little short on time, but they're going to be making the full-on commitment there. Now. AZ having died. Gate on highway. Definitely a mess as Kukert's pushed up in that door. So they're going to have to get out on the site. Kukert finding another one spells disaster, and that's exactly what had struck here for North. It's a 6th round on the board for Avangar.
Now that's more like it from North. That's what we saw at the minor, those sort of rounds. I think I watched all of their games at the minor. I'm not sure if you recall this. Every single round on the T side especially, it was coming down to 10 seconds remaining.
Yes.
They would execute, it would all fall apart, and that is a prime example of just, you haven't got an in-game leader that's really being assertive and telling everyone what to do. I can tell what's happening. Valda's got in that position. He's trying to make the shots at that point. Then they're like, no, let's go back. AZ's made a call. Valda's making a call. They're in between both bomb sites, trying to work out who's going to be in charge here. And they just run out of time, and it just turns into a big old mess, unfortunately. But final round of the first half, finally. North will be broken financially somewhat. They still have 4 AK. You can see Valda on the CZ.
A little late, but nonetheless, yes, the last round is upon us. We need an 8-6 as we look to round out this half. It's going to be Buster with the AWP in the back of Checker. And 3 set up there towards the B-bomb site for Avangar. Again, electing to play this retake A. They're trying to walk the smoke. Kristen finds 2 before he's traded out with KRB. He falls. Buster, though, still hasn't been sniffed out, but the time is now. He finds 1. Can he find another peek here? Gade was going to slowly but surely find that kill, keeping North into this round. And now, waiting out that Molotov and perhaps even the crossover to the site. Valde's going to be trying to get this plant down, and he will do it, escaping any damage. Bomb being planted, default. And smoke should give them just a little bit of cover to keep at least Avangar guessing for the next, couple of seconds as to where these players are trying to position themselves in the post plant. But for what it's worth, they're coming through the vents very fast. And as well as that trade went on, it's now up to Valde, the man that can get it done. A 1 versus 2. Fitch and Jane here. AWP and an AK, both with a kit in hand. And Valde's going to have to fall back. He goes for the reload and the flash. Now he does have the perfect angle, but wow. Jane really putting a damper on those plans.
I don't think he's got it. Oh, it's going to be close. That's good. I can't hear the beeps.
I'm pretty sure he's got it.
He's got it?
Yeah.
Okay, it looks closer to me than I can't hear the. Can you hear the beeps?
Of course.
I haven't got the beeps, so I'm freestyling it here. But there it is. It will be Avangar picking up the final round. Valda did absolutely everything he could at that point to try and win out the 1 versus 1. I love the flashbang, love the commitment before it went off as well, just to really apply the pressure. Here are the highlights of the first half here. I don't think either team will be particularly excited about their performance in the first half. North definitely had some great moments, but it started to fall apart towards the end. Avangar, slow start from them, but some decent rounds once they picked up the double orb setup. But this is their pick. You'd think they probably get a few more on the board, all things considered. North have only played this map twice, and that's against 3 times, sorry, against NRG and Windigos. There are only showings on this, but all wins, like we mentioned. There's that 1 deke from Gade. Very important round. Avangar will be really upset with that one. That was a changing point of the game. When Gade got that 1 deke towards middle and then found the AWP towards the connector as well, it all fell apart at that stage. Gade with a great half here. Really enjoyed his performance here. This was against the Eco, but still just raising his confidence, as so did Fitch. You can see, not the prettiest game of CS, this one. A lot of gaps, and again, 8 seconds remaining when they're committing towards those bomb sites. That has been a massive problem for North.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't make it any easier, nor does Valde slipping in the back lines every chance he can get. I mean, this guy's very, very sneaky, sir. I mean, it's one of those things where, at least on the pistol round, I don't think he'll be trying to do any of those shenanigans. However, the damage has already begun, and KRB is going to be the victim of that, starting this round out in a rather quick fashion at 12 HP. You see no kits over there on the side of North, but that shouldn't be a big problem. Looking at that B grouping here from Avangar, is going to try to work their way in quietly but quickly over towards this B side. And the defense will be set up. Gate playing in sight, and Volley playing towards that headshot angle. And now the peak is on. They're going to have to do this rather dry. You do see that Molotov come out right now. 1 click there from Valde, finds 1. Buster finds 1 as well. A second one for Valde. Can he find more? This man is known to do it, and he has grabbed 3. That may be just enough for just little old James here to do what he can do and try to get this bomb down. So perhaps we can have a little bit of an economy game going here for Avangar in the second half.
Oh, I don't like the fake plant attempt here. I feel like you should have just got that down, but still, what do I know, Trace? He might have a fighting chance if he can find the headshot. Almost comes in. If he'd have won that one, it'd been very impressive, but I really want to see the extra finances brought in. It was a bold move to make to actually go with the fake plan and try and challenge potentially 3 rushing CTs, but either way, he was going to lose the rounds, as we will see. Valde light it up. Very calm with the USP. He's always been a bit of a calling card for him as he gets the headshots required. I think he got the 3rd as well, right?
Yes, he did.
There it is, right at the end, just before he went down. Frustrating start to the second half for Avangar on their map. Another tactical pause. I've used a lot of those today. And remember, waiting in the upper bracket is heroic. If North win this 2-0, I don't think anyone would have predicted that. North, heroic, upper bracket final to guarantee one of them a place in the grand final. And it will be a CIS situation in the lower bracket. If this does happen, we'll have Avangar and Na'Vi down there. So that will be pretty exciting, you know. It's all to play for.
Yeah, it's definitely all about the unexpected, and I'm sure there are many people particularly interested in those numbers, not just dozens, 100 or 1,000, but probably a whole battalion. Maybe head over to bet.gg and check out the odds. Excuse me, GG.Bet. Said it all backwards.
It all works.
I'm not dyslexic. It just kind of, you know.
It kind of falls out sometimes.
It kind of happens that way.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll put you back together after this. It is GG.Bet.
Yes, GG.Bet, yes.
Check them out, and the odds will be up on the screen momentarily as we go for an aggressive push here. It will be the CTs trying to manhandle the terrorists on the other side, and those are the 1Ds we're talking about. You don't necessarily have to go for these full commitments when you have this sort of round up against you, but that's unlucky. Kiabi ran into the only player with Eagle. The rest of them got Glocks and PD50s. So very unfortunate to actually go down that. We'll see if this will lead any further. They've got no grenades and essentially relying on another 1D here to have any chance of even getting the bomb down. But KD in good position. He could find multiple kills here, but he's actually rotating out with the rifle, I believe, of AZ.
Yes, and they're going to have them choked up in this little, I guess we call it a fatal funnel in the Army, but definitely trying to squeeze that bomb out of the door could spell and bode disaster here. Of course, AZ not really set up to defend that.
All right, boys, you're going into a fatal funnel here. I hate to do this to you, but it's happening.
Hey, man, check it out sometime. Cool. Go ahead and look it up. They got that search engine, whichever one you prefer. Just not Internet Explorer.
Ask Jeeves is mine.
Yeah, well, it must be a UK thing.
It's still going strong here, man.
Is it really?
No. But I wish it was, just for the memes. Either way, it's going to be 30 seconds remaining, and we'll see PD50s, and they're just trying to waste time here. Get North second guessing. What will happen? The bomb goes down. That's actually a great round if they find a couple more kills.
Yeah, but the timer is so low at this point. They have ran out. Looks like everybody's going to be lining up for a little bit of tea here. You want to talk about a party, and Cadian's going to be having one. Finding 2, and AZ cleaning up this whole round. A round that kind of wasn't really set up in any fashion there for success.
Well, the opening kill does allow them some point of access towards the bomb side, but AZ, like I said, when you're ever in those scenarios and you know the Rico, try and keep your nades away, like especially if they're on the precipice of busting through the site. You just need to have the gun out at that point, aim for multiple kills. Yes, utility can be very useful, but when you can hear them that close, you just want to make sure you get the kills required. As we get into that bonus situation again for North here, you can see a few residual UMPs, some FAMASs there, and up against the fully equipped Avangar. They've got 5 AKs here. To be fair, a lack of utility, so still quite equal in that sense, but there is money left over for North. They will be able to buy next round, but it will be quite a weak buy depending on whether they save any weapons from this round. We'll see who comes out on top first. Avangar now up against the double digits of North as they go into a very classic default here on cash.
That's right. Just enough utility to maybe make something work. They're not going to be able to throw too many fakes and really maneuver around the map with a lot of mystery, but they're definitely going to be able to find their way out into a site provided they use that utility right. Now, when it comes down to using that utility right, they're going to be waiting to use any of it. Now, suppose maybe that A play, the bomb going towards A main, and it's going to be up to AZ there in the site by his lonesome. That Molotov's going to fall him back just a little bit, just enough to scare him off, but this push by Cadian could be huge. The timing could really be there for him to just wipe house, to really clean up Avangar here with the flank. And he's going to find at least 1, trying to find 2, doesn't necessarily need to. And I like the fall there. Kukert's going to go ahead and go over the boost, find 1 himself. KRB getting involved in the round, and this one somehow turned into a 3v3. And as I say that, KRB falls to Kukert. So now Jane, Buster, and Kukert are going to try to get this bomb down on the B site. Gade rotating with a quickness, so that does give at least a little bit of a chance for North. And Kukert is on fire right now. I'd love to see some stats there from that guy. But he's definitely done his part in this matchup for Avangar as the bomb goes down in the B side. And AZ, well, with no kit and the blessed AUG, he doesn't really want to lose that. So
he really does not. So, like we said, if they save any sort of weapons here, Cadian can buy an AWP next round. AZ will get 1,400 on top of what he has right now, so he could drop a UMP technically. And then they'll try and buy up around that. They don't have to with the lead right now. I would say they probably will, considering they're a map up. You have a bit of breathing room in that respect. You can go for the play. AZ on the AUG. Cadian on the AWP, who could potentially... Oh, be careful, AZ.
That's not good.
Not worth, but that gives him a bit of extra cash at least. So that means he can drop out a UMP and buy himself a smoke. Every kill counts in CS Trace. I always try to make that point very clear. Every dollar, every kill has a knock-on effect. As you can see, he can drop the UMP, get a smoke and a flash now if they are that way inclined. Cadian can get AWP armor. It really would be a Hail Mary play. They don't have to do it. There's the AWP. They've gone for it, just to know.
Full commit.
So I like it. I respect it. Why not? Like, you can reset them here. And AZ getting that final kill, I think that really made their minds up for them. But there's Valde at the very top, as usual. We were having some fun with him in the green room before, waiting for him for that big performance he always seems to deliver. And there it is. There's the UMP dropped by AZ. There's a couple of AUGs there. Kiabi with the CZ and Cadian with his own AWP. He'll hold towards middle. A real presence here, and I don't want to necessarily go for one of those big plays because Avangar won't be sure what they're up against. All they know is an AUG was saved. They don't know there's an AUG being purchased here.
And there it is now.
They do now, as Fitch will be taken down.
That's right, Fitch, the first victim of this round. Avangar starting off in a deficit, 4 players live. 10 to 8. They're trying to creep any rounds they can in here. They don't want to see this map go in the way of North. Of course, that would mean they have lost. If you're just joining us, North won the first map. And this being the second would send Avangar down to the lower bracket to face Natus Vincere. Can you believe that? That one alone is a little shocking, but nonetheless, the story continues. It looks like a little bit of a B posture here from Avangar. And they're not going to have anyone in the sight on the side of North to defend this off. Of course, hit should be coming on, utilities coming out, and Cadian set up with the AWP in prime position, finds one on the Crizzen. Gade finding one for himself. Now he's up to James and Buster. Enough play time. Sight cross comes in. 4 members alive for North, so maybe a bomb plant here. Could be a bit of a stretch. I mean, they do have the potential to get the bomb down for Avangar, and that's really what they need to do considering the money situation, but winning this round would be a very, very big ask.
Wow, it's Buster. Now we'll start the process here. The bomb is down. They have an HE, a flashbang as well. It's certainly a tall order, but it's not impossible. I have to say, Kiabi, if he goes down, he actually gets to Dinkin. That should cue for his teammates to make their way through. Buster's position's been exposed, but James hitting the shots now. It's actually starting to fall apart as Cadian brings it down to the 1 versus 1. Kiabi holds his nerve. The CZ only. He recovers the AWP. He's got a kit. They've won the round. Remember, we began this whole process with an AWP, the dropped AUG, and it had to be because AZ saved the AUG at the end of the round, got that kill to allow a bit more utility, dropped the UMP. It's those small little minutiae that really separate Counter-Strike, I think, from other games. There's so many different levels and ideas that can be taken forward into the next round. So there it is. Cadian Zorb prevails. It's a CZ of Kiabi to close things out, and we'll see.
That was pretty deep, Henry. I just want to say.
Yeah, he didn't.
That was pretty. That was pretty deep, man. I'm not going to lie to you. But 11 to 8 is the score line. North scarily close to losing that last round. Actually, even the defuse became a pretty close affair. Now we're going to see Avangar going here for what they can, and the utility probably not exactly where they wanted to be, nor the weaponry. There's a Deagle and a P250 there on Fitch and Buster, respectively. Just holding out for that B push will be Buster, all the way from T-spawn, but they're going to be trying to get some headway out here onto this A site. AZ going to go for that Molotov to try to prevent anyone from going from the forklift. And Kukert finding a frag definitely makes things a little bit better here on the side of Avangar. As they're going to have all 5 players in the bomb site. The bomb will be going down momentarily, re-smoking the cross, so they should be able to get away and into the site with relative ease, but this is taking forever.
I was about to say, maybe North consider a saver. The fact they haven't even planted yet, why not? Kiabi gets one back, but it's going to be Buster who will be working with a P250. James finding absolutely everyone with the AK. Valde, oh my goodness, surely doesn't pull this one off. This would be absolutely stunning. He's now in the 1 versus 1. James up against who gets himself in a position on the bomb side, spots him, hits the shot. Juking it out, locking horns out on the bomb side. The 2 star players, Valda and James, finding all the headshots required, and that's such a big round for Avangar to pick up there. North have been ruined financially. It's 11-9. They have to take either a full eco here or go for the full investment, which is looking likely at this point. CZs, UMPs lose this round. We're all going to be tied up, and Avangar might even take the lead as we get into round 21. MAC-10s are out. They've read this situation well. Avangar know they're in the driving seat at this point.
Yeah, that definitely got scary towards the end of that last round. I mean, we're looking at Avangar that kind of just paused themselves almost. I don't know whether it was the utility that kept them from getting in the sight or what it was, but they definitely took their time to get that bomb down. And now I think they probably feel a little bit more confident going to this A side, but of course against 4 CZs, or CZs as they call them around here. And Valde having that UMP, it's going to be a little bit of a close quarters battle. Molotov's going to push Gade off underneath the boost. They still have full mid control here, and that smoke should push them back to keep Avangar from finding that mid area to their liking.
Gade is snuck through that smoke, I believe. So they should be preempting this. Like most teams will be aware of this possibility. Will Fitch be? Indeed he will. Get the MAC-10 there, perfect weapon to deal with that sort of situation. They've got the advantage now and still a minute on the clock. They do not need to force the issue here. They don't need to run around. They don't need to throw anyone into the bomb site. Just execute efficiently together. Try not to shoot each other. Luckily it's just a MAC-10, so it doesn't do too much damage at all. You can see the bomb down there. Avangar really playing the percentages here and making sure this round goes in their favor. It's a big one as well. This is the force buy from North. They've already detected that. You can get the dink sound cues when you headshot a player here. You can tell he's got armor. They know the financial situation that suggests they have gone all in, need to win this one, and they can do it efficiently if they use their utility just like this. Molotov towards the back, smoke towards highway, send the MAC-10s in first. Time is ticking down, but it hasn't got to the dangerous level just yet. They should be okay.
Definitely coming down to that 20-second mark, and well, Valde can literally do nothing. He has been frozen in his tracks as we look to find ourselves really, really close to a tie ball game here. It's going to be Avangar with 10 on the board. And North, having had that rhythm, having had that rhyme.
Go on.
Man, it's something about Counter-Strike time.
All right. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Is Matt still here or?
What, mate?
We'll see the full eco coming from North, and $2,000 per player is going to be the USPs. No armor, no nades, no kits. Full eco at this stage, and it's up to Avangar to give them any opportunities. Krizen's going to maybe get the ace of the MAC-10 here. We'll see how they line up for him. Actually doing a good job of making it uncomfortable at least. He gets $1,200 from those couple of kills. That's it in the bag now. Cadian is all the way in towards the B-bomb site, alone.
With the USB.
With the USB.
And absolutely nothing else to his name, nor his life, as he does fall to Buster, giving us a tie game. 11-11 here. Avangar have brought it back. They did find themselves in a pretty rough situation, but as I look at the lineup right now, I'm seeing James really laying into these guys, really giving them, looks like a piece of his mind. I can't really tell what he's saying, but definitely looks pretty serious over there, Henry.
Yeah, he's a serious man, and he's got a point to prove on the server right now. He wants to be the shining AWP, which I think he absolutely has been. Like, we talk about Cadian's presence with the AWP, pretty average, to be honest. Like, he hasn't had a bad game, but he hasn't. But James has been absolutely stunning. This is the old Guardian move. FaZe have been running this for a while. Run boost onto the yellow boxes, go for that first pick, but the smoke will dissuade them from pushing any further. Oh my goodness, there's kills through the smoke all over the place here. Damage being done, but advantage for Avangar.
Oh man.
This could fall apart.
Yeah, Kukert being able to get away from there and finding that frag on the AZ. Really opening some doors here, or rather potentially some bomb sites. We see 2 players on North over there towards that A site. It's going to be the likes of KRB and Mr. Cadian. No op and play for Cadian, so he's going to have to play a little bit strange here. Might have to do something strange. But Gade having this forward position will definitely be able to ring the alarm should that full-on commitment to the B site come over from Avangar. And right now they're sort of just kind of dancing around with peeking each other. I mean, it seems like neither one of these guys want to give up that crucial pick or that crucial kill, because the information one way or the frag the other could spell disaster. And right now that push is going to be on. They're going to find Gade. They're going to corner him, and Krizen's going to get that frag. So now that B bomb site should be wide open, but it's going to be Valde trying to find a spam through the smoke from that tree room. As it stands, he's unsuccessful. And of course, with no kits in this round, North bit off a little bit more than they could shoot.
I think you might be right there. It's the opening pick through the smoke, a little bit unfortunate there for the likes of Gate and AZ, but they will go down quickly. And at that point, Avangar, knowing the rotations were coming through, we'll see them actually rotate back towards B. As we conclude round number 23 here, Cadian will take down a player in the form of Buster there. And hold on to 3 rifles, but that's Avangar now in the lead on the T side. Like we said coming into this one, it is slightly considered to be a T-sided map.
And these are big kills right here.
Oh, these are huge kills. We can get both of them.
If Kuker can open this door, oh my goodness, he had it right there on a platter. At least 1, maybe 2. But that would have been some big-time spending power lost in the way of North.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, this is the $50,000 GG.Bet Ice Challenge. We are here with the second best of 3 of the day. We do have one of the most notorious teams in the world who played earlier today, Na'Vi, dropping to Heroic, and then a couple of underdogs of the tournament. But North, you don't really want to be calling them underdogs. They're supposed to be lions. They're supposed to be roaring and showing us how skilled they are. We know it's in there somewhere in the tank. We see glimmers of it from time to time, but they definitely have been plagued with the same issues they had over the minors as well. We've seen a lot of rounds go right down to those final few seconds on their T sides. And we'll see if they can pull it back now. Starting to be tested here on Avangar's pick of Cash. As the tactical pause comes in, Avangar not afraid to use these pauses. They've deployed almost all of them, and North will be fine with that. Remember, their coach, first day on the job. He wants to get stuck in as much as he can and hopefully help them out. Rack of AKs there, unfortunately, not accessible. You've got to pay for those.
And it's not even that he's just walked into a team that, you know, maybe flew and fluked out of the minor system through the major. He's talking about he's walked into the office of a team that is receiving so much criticism online that it is outrageous at this point.
Yeah, it's
expectations aside, yes, some of the criticism is just next level. I mean, there's all kind of speculations like, oh, well, this player should go to this team do that. I mean, it's a lot. And you got to wonder sort of the mental impact that it could have on these players, you know? I mean, it's not enough that you didn't qualify for the major.
A lot of them have not resigned from social media, but I know they stay off it. Like, it's difficult to
play. It's a good idea.
You know? Like, if you're having a rough period in your career and you're in a bit of a slump, reading all the criticism is not going to help either. You just need to focus on your game and try and stay away from that world. It really won't help you out. But that's a conversation for another podcast, perhaps. We'll see if we can get one of those up and running. As we get into a 5-on-5 still, damage inflicted all towards North here. As you can see, the B split looking likely. We have got one player towards the A side. That's Squeaky Door once again, but the B split looking very, very likely at this point. Fitch going to try and make his way through the vents as James looks for rotations from A, holding the AWP. Drops down, not sure if he intended to, towards the sandbag position there and looking towards quad.
Yeah, and they're still set up in a way where in which if the James did find that pickup highway, they definitely could traverse and find themselves into that A site. I mean, not knowing that there would be only one player from North left, but all hypothetical situations aside, that is not the story. And now it's going to be Gate and AZ on the CZs, trying to find something here for a little bit of defense, but the A hit is looming. That's right, 20 seconds left on the clock, roughly. And now that bomb's going to have to find its way out on this A site. Avangar with the full commit here. It's going to be 1 outdoor and 3 out main. Trying to find the opening frags will be both sides. Both do look to do it. It's going to be AZ finding 2 to really keep the numbers in check here. 3v3. That bomb's going to have to be planted right about now. And the retake will be on here from side of North. All they take in a considerable amount of damage here is Cadian.
Good smoke.
Gets in there and tries to get it done, tries to get enough damage on the board in a 2 versus 2 here. Fitch and James left to defend this bomb, and Fitch finding a very crucial kill and a second, and making that round go in the way of Avangar, making it look easy as well, Henry.
Absolutely so. Fitch, aware of the prospect, I said, is a good smoke, a nice idea. I think they would have been better off just leaving him to his own devices and maybe focusing on the bombing and the intel on the second, but then segregate. You can see there's a slight gap there. That's how Fitch uses that to get the second kill. Avangar look like they're on point to maybe take the second map. We'll see. Still a long way to go. We'll see a few rounds come through with the double orb setup there. AZ technically is the secondary AWPer of this squad, and we'll see if he can make it work out for them. James does beat the smoke when no one crossing over towards short, gives up the fact that orb is towards middle as he pre-fires towards a connector. This is what the orb you're looking for. AZ does make it happen. Actually, Hugo actually finally being punished here. He's been working that A main a lot, trying to get the picks through the smoke. This time taken down. We've got to play up in the vents. That's going to be Gade.
Yes, it is. And any second, if he pops out there, Buster could be caught off guard, being that lone member pushed up that far for Avangar. And, well, the three others going to be trying to follow in his footsteps. They work their way over to that B side. They don't know that they're walking into a trap, an absolute wall of a stop here. Cadian with a great angle, and then the two will be able to sort of explode from that vent room area. But it's all going to come down to this. The utility yet to be used here from Avangar. Plenty of time left in the clock. They could have traversed back, but no, they're going to commit now. Cadian finding the kill on the Buster with the AWP. Gade dropping out of the vent as described. And James going to fall as well. Leaving Prison left, and he can't get a damn thing done, Henry.
Well, Gade certainly can, and that double orb setup in the hands of AZ as well. Trying to get them over the finish line here. We're coming to the real precipice of this game. We're going to see who comes out on top. Can it be North with the 2-0 here? That is yet to be seen. Avangar have got another buy by the looks of things. I'm not sure they've invested already. Krisen's down to $1,000. Are they going for it? They've got 5 rounds in a row. Should be absolutely fine with the decent purchase. We'll find out in a second, Trace. There we go.
There it is.
Nice and healthy. You've still got residual cash here. The AWP out as well. James with that AWP, who has slowed down a little bit, I have to say, in the last 5 or 6 rounds. We haven't seen as much from him, but we'll see if now he can open things up. AZ repositioning. Was an MBK before. This time finds himself on the right-hand side of the bomb site. Alone, though, just to know. No one watching real squeaky for him, and he's going to have to drop and fall back. This is not a great position for the AWP.
Yeah, and that Molotov's going to do a ton of stopping power, at least there for the side of Avangar. KRB taking a considerable amount of damage. But they do have the bomb site. It is in their control. That little bit of utility coming out there. North trying to thwart off any sort of extra advantages that Avangar can find themselves in. The bomb should be planted momentarily. AZ trained on that forklift with the AWP. But, oh my dear, James is just a little too quick for you, AZ. And that's right, Gade is going to have the proper positioning for the back push, but it's not going to be there. Cadian trying to make it a little bit more in their favor, finding the kill on a Q-Kurt. Now James, Buster, and Krizen need to defend this bomb, Henry.
This is looking impossible now. James hitting absolutely everything. Time ticking away. They're nowhere near the bomb site. It is call it at this point. They might just be trying to lock in the T's and hold them towards the bomb site. Absolutely not. Pack it up. Cadian's got to get the hell out of there. As he falls back, it's James who answers back after the double orb setup is presented. He gets one out himself, gets 3 kills, 25 in total. And just what I said, it seems like he's dropping off the pace a little bit there, Trace. He turns up with 3 amazing kills as well. Resets the economy of North, and they go 14-12 here. Has to be the force by the looks of things. Kiabi, he's gone all in already. And this is where they're really testing. You can see new coach just there. It's like, oh, God, what have I got myself in for?
Oh, what have I done? No, definitely a back-breaking round right there. You know, definitely not where you want to find yourself in North. And definitely going to have to recollect their thoughts here because, well, they're running out of options. They're running out of chances here to lock in this map. Really pushing themselves into a third map of this series. What is the last best of 3 of the day? The GG.Bet Ice Challenge live from London.
Live and direct.
Yes, live and direct.
From sunny East London.
It's not very sunny outside, last I checked.
Really not.
Haven't seen outside in a couple hours, but
not the best time of year to visit, but
you know what? I'm happy to be here. You know why?
Why is that?
62.8% British, Henry.
According to who?
According to one of those DNA things.
Man. Oh, the one that tracks your DNA in a database?
Yeah, that one. Well, I sold my soul to.
Okay, fantastic. Well,
anyway, we do have the AWP here on James, and it looks like he's going to be toying with his food. Almost nails the shot there on the highway player, which would have been Cadian, so we could have a little bit of an enemy at the gates sort of situation. Doubtful, though, is they're going to elect to go towards this B side.
All of them are.
All of them. The full commit here from Avangar. They know what's on the line. They want to go ahead and do this with a quickness. They're going to have a group here. And they've got enough utility to get out on that bomb site with pretty much, you know, ease, provided Gade doesn't make something spectacular here happen with the Deagle. Finds himself over the generator, looks for one, can't even get the shot off. Buster busting them down.
This is map point. There's no way Valda can defend this. He's gone down straight away. They got to save whatever they have now and hope they can play for overtime. Third map looking very likely at this point. You know, see Gade playing at the headshot position, needed to land a few of those with the Desert Eagle, taken down quickly though, and that's just a really nice score from Avangar. They know the money's low, they've sensed the AWP towards middle, why not just go for that full B execution there, make it as uncomfortable as possible, going together and hit the shots, didn't really take any damage whatsoever.
Yeah, Cadian, AZ, and KRB are going to have to fall, but James definitely not going to let him do just that. He's not going to let him get away too easy. Taking that off out of Cadian's hands, and, well, AZ's going to try to get his hands on it towards the end of the round, but Avangar want to close on these weapons. They want to crush them right here, and they want to end this now. They definitely don't want to see them take this AWP into the next round, which is exactly what could happen. and is exactly what won't happen. That's right, a 15th on the board for Avangar. It's going to be 12 to the lesser on the side of North. And it's beyond crunch time here for North. They're definitely not sitting in a good situation, definitely not sitting where they want to be. And what was a recliner is now certainly an upright 45-degree angle. 90-degree? 90-degree angle.
Yeah, why not? Anything will do. I know what you meant.
Only the best, Henry.
Well, here it is. It all comes down to this one. North with 3 pistols, 2 SMGs up against a fully equipped Avangar. There's almost no chance they win this round. It'd be a miracle they can find a couple of opening kills here. And then, once they do that, they need to do it twice more. That's if they even get a clean victory at this stage of the game. Time will tell. Round 28. They have a couple of flashbangs, a couple of smokes. And it's looking very, very likely indeed we go to a third map and continue to see whether Avangar can make their way through to the upper bracket. It was looking likely to be North, but it's all fallen apart here. Undefeated so far in cash. I feel like that's about to be broken. Avangar giving themselves the maximum chance of winning this round. You can see Kiabi there trying to play up close and personal towards middle. Great little boost there to Spot on the other side. And it's been a really methodical game from Avangar. They know of the possible threats around the map. They're boosting effectively. They're flushing TTs out with the Molotovs. And now they've still got a minute on the clock. They've got the advantage of waiting for any sort of reaction here. Who will try and get intel? Who's going to make a play? Someone has to. They can't just sit back with CZs and flashbangs. Not going to be working for them. As they get mid-control as well, Avangar, where does it close out? I think possibly towards that B bomb site with their bomb heading over there now.
Yeah, it's already going to go ahead and fall back. It looks like it's going to be a little bit of a B split here. 3 players probably going through that vent. They're going to find Rivalde there to answer the call. Gade finding a second. And wait a minute, we're not done just yet. They're going to have something to say about this. Cadian really pushed up all the way right now, and he finds himself in trouble.
What is going on?
What in tarnation?
This is all falling apart.
Wow.
Just as we thought, North were done for. It seems to be working out. They have the bomb. They've got the AK-47s, but they haven't got all the kills just yet. It looked like that was a done deal, but all of a sudden, the aggressive push towards B, they managed to get the headshots required. Cadian with the flag, you could see he wasn't sure to look towards middle. Useless. Luckily for him, Jane was rotating back from middle with the AWP. Didn't seem to get the memo, and we might be on for overtime here. Might being the operative word. North have looked clumsy in the second half, and we'll see whether this is enough to inspire them to go for the reset, get the overtime in their favor, I'd say, at this point. If they manage to claw it back, it will actually be working more beneficially for them because they will have the moral advantage. They'll be the ones riding the wave as we get into round 29. Cadian back on the AWP. They've got a full buy here after winning that one. And if they can win this, Trace, believe it or not, they might be guaranteed overtime. Look at the cash situation for Avangar.
Cadian's going to find that information and not really play with too much fire there. Again, if they do force this into a third map, that is Avangar, we're going to be going into Inferno, but it's got to kind of start here. They do find themselves in a pretty weird situation. That money definitely not where they want to find it this late into the game, 15-13. If you're just joining us, you've picked a very fantastic time to do so. Real solid defense set up here, spread across all of the map here for North. KRB find himself on that highway. And the op on Cadian there towards that B site. So the grouping in A, it's going to be a full-on A hit here from the looks of it. The utility's coming out, and now they just need to show face. It's going to be Avangar finding their way out the site. Fitch finding himself, oh my goodness, did he see the guy opposite of him? No, he didn't. AZ finds the better in that equation, and Kukert takes down AZ. So the trades are there. Now a 4 versus 4. They're kind of stalled. It's kind of a stalemate. Finding their way out on the site and falling. Can't get it done. So
it's so tense here, Trace. I'm not sure who's going to come out on top. There's no bomb being planted yet, but there's plenty of kills coming in. Remember, if they can win this round, it will reset Avangar completely. Burning, and oh my goodness, James will actually hit the headshot there towards Kiabi. Gade, Cadian, now up against it, but James got the bomb. He's booking it towards the B site. If he gets through the vent, is he trying to be too smart for his own good at this point? This could be unbelievable. If he gets a player in quad,
oh no.
That's so sick, but he's got a player in connector, but he's going to beat him on timing, I think. Has he crossed towards the side? Yeah, you can see Gade. Oh, he's done it. Jane might actually just win the game right here, right now.
Now, the one thing that Gade does have going for him is this utility. Yes, it's 15-13. Yes, this is the moment he needs to shine to keep his team alive, at least on cash. But with that utility, should he use it right? And he doesn't. It cost him terribly, and that map goes in the way of Avangar. You hate to see it.
Unbelievable. James there, I thought he maybe was overcooking and running back towards B, but he gets short. He gets the free kill towards the quad position. He manages to convert it as well. He had full control of that situation. He is really putting up massive numbers so far. He got something like 29 in the first map there, close to 30 in the second as well. What has he got in store from us on the third? I'm not sure North want to find out, but we are going to a third map. It's going to be Inferno, and I'm sure there's going to be more and more fireworks going off here. I thought North had it. It felt like it was a done deal. But Avangar showing themselves to be a strong, resilient team with some great individuals as well. That's what we expected here. They're always that team everyone says maybe they can cause an upset here. They've got one more map to go, but it certainly sent a message to the boys in the North camp.
Yeah, and I mean, North have to wake up after that. Right now, they find themselves in a best-of-1 scenario. You know, you pretty much have a clean slate going into this third map. Inferno is on the docket. That's where we're going to be heading, but I think that's just about it, Henry. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we do have the third map of this series. Inferno is upon us, and we want you to be there with us.